Alright. All my life I felt different. I wasn't sure in what ways or how, I just knew I was different. I tried doing things to get rid of these feelings by blending in with the crowd, doing what the other kids do, dressing like them, and it just never worked. I eventually tried to stifle these feelings in drugs and alcohol. Well, that just made more problems, and that's what brought me to Narcotics Anonymous. That's where I found the steps. The 4th step states that we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Basically, I had to look at myself and I had to be impartial. I couldn't be too nice or too hard on myself. And after going over my inventory with my sponsor, she was nice enough to point out some reoccurring themes that she noticed. Basically, my answers to all the questions involved a fear of people rejecting me if they knew the real me. My sponsor looks at me and she goes, "What is this big secret about you that no one can know?" And in about 2 seconds in reality, in my entire life, in my head, I used the only words I knew to describe how I felt different. I looked at her and I said, "I'm gay." And this woman looked at me and she goes, "Cool." I didn't know the right words to describe how I felt other than gay. I grew up in a community that wasn't very sympathetic to alternative sexualities. So I was ill-equipped to be able to describe what I felt on the inside to others. I'm gay. I'm not a lesbian. That word just doesn't describe me right. Gay is the closest I could come. So I decided to take my life into my own hands and to seek knowledge and to learn the vocabularies to be able to describe what I feel to others. I started to ask questions. If I'm female and I'm gay, am I a lesbian? If I'm attracted to women, but I'm not attracted to lesbians, am I just confused? I decided to seek likeness. I looked around at people in the gay community and tried to find people that acted in ways that emulated how I felt on the inside. That's where I found the trans community. Once I got there, I felt at home. I was among my kind. I started to go to support groups in Seattle, and I found that not only did I have something in common with those people, they had something in common with me. None of us were exactly how we felt we should be, and we had all made the decision to do something about it. I learned that I have options. I could take hormone replacement therapy to get secondary sex characteristics, grow facial and bodily hair, deeper voice, fat distribution on my body to be more masculine. If I really wanted to, I could get surgeries. I could get top surgeries to have my breasts removed and have a more masculine chest. And if I really, really wanted to, I could get bottom surgery and have male genitalia. But before I can do any of that, I first need to go see a therapist. Because before any doctor, anywhere, will give any persons any hormones or surgeries of any kind to reassign their sexuality, they first need to get a letter from a therapist stating that that person is of sound mind and body and understands the consequences of sexual reassignment therapy. There's 2 ways to do this. There's the W path, which is the Washington Professional Association of Trans Health, which states that before anybody can get a reassignment, they first need to live as the opposite sex for 1 to 2 years without any hormone replacement therapy and no surgeries. And then they need to seek out the help of a mental health specialist for at least 3 months before they are deemed of sound mind and body and able to get these surgeries and hormone replacement therapy, and that they understand the consequences of these things. The other one, which is the ICAF, Informed Consent Access to Trans Health, states that if you're seeking reassignment, you're of sound mind and body. You don't need a third-party interpretation of your innermost feelings. You know what you're doing. My therapist subscribes to the second. My therapist and my physician are my tour guides into the new me. They are my confidants. These are the men that I am going to get very personal with about all the emotional and physical changes I go through during my transition. I can't afford to keep any secrets from them. I owe it to myself to be honest with them as I enter this new stage of my life. Now, I added another step into my transition that a lot of people don't. Family is very, very important to me. And I want my family to be a part of my transition. They gave birth to me. I want them to be a part of my rebirth. I need to understand not to take it personal when my parents have issues with my transition. Because I understand that in order for them to accept a son, they need to let go of a daughter. And that's traumatic for a parent. And I'm being patient with them. I need to remember that it's not about them. It's about me. And I'm not going to take anything personal in their reaction to my transition. And I don't know what's going to happen next. I know how other people have transitioned, but I haven't taken my first shot yet. I'm very eager to find out what's going to happen. I understand the pros and the cons of sexual reassignment therapy, and you know what? I'm not afraid, not in the least bit. This is my new life. This is my chance to be the new me, the person I'm supposed to be. I'm always going to be me. Now I just get to be more of me. Thank you.
So when did this kind of all start coming about? At what age?
Well, different people have a different process. Some people have known all their life they're in the wrong body. Other people, like me, just know something's wrong, but we don't have the words to describe it. I've always been more masculine and feminine when I was a child. My mom would put a dress on me and I'd go climb a tree. I've never really, since a very young age, I never really liked utilizing the, oh, I'm a weak girl, can you carry this for me? I've always had to earn my own way physically with my muscles, and I've had to earn my space. I've never held myself to female standards ever. Any other questions?
Okay, thanks.
Okay.